If I can have your attention, please. We are at almost 6:30. We have less than a couple seconds to go through. I posted the warrants. I need to open this meeting. So I greet you. For those who don't know me, I'm Theodore Smith here. We have to now, I'm reading from the state of Maine, posted the warrants for the town of Woodland, We're at the town garage, July 9th, 2024. 6:30, this meeting is now in order. Now, at this time, I'll take nominations from the floor for moderator.
Gene Bradbury, I nominate Lorraine Chamberlain.
I have a motion on the floor. Lorraine,
I'll second that.
got a second?
Peter Kerr. I nominate Wayne Smith.
We have a nomination on the floor. Wayne,
Just sit here. I'll second that.
we have a second.
Cease nominations.
We have a motion on the floor to cease nominations.
I'll second that as well.
We have a second also. Now, we have these little tabs that says yes or no. I don't know how we're gonna answer yes or no. We have Wayne Smith.
Write the name.
Write the name. You all hear that? Write the name. We have Wayne Smith and Lorraine Chamberlain. That's who we have nominated. So, everybody has an ink pen, I hope? I don't have an ink pen. Some people still come. We have your attention again one more time. We're voting for a moderator. We have Wayne Smith and Lorraine Chamberlain. We'll wait for everyone.
Carla.
Somebody else sign in over there at the
Thank
back.
you, honey.
So we got your tickets right up there. Get more people. Your sits are gonna run a few minutes.
So you project it like it.
It's all those years in the military. I thought it was over. I don't know, I guess I'll take a vote. The audience. If I can have your attention one more time. 6:35, question to the gallery. Do you want the doors open? Yes. If we have the doors open, you must keep it quiet, because you won't be able to hear the warrants as they're being spoken.
What about just a crack?
It don't make any difference to me. It's whatever the gallery says. If you wish the doors open, someone please open the door. Whoever knows where the buttons are on the back, just push the open button. Everybody pass the votes in? Yes, I do. Someone's got to keep a count. Wayne and. Yeah. If you would please have a count. We get to say it. Yes, and we should open up higher. I don't want to turn the fans on, we'll be able to hear anything. Results, Lorraine Chamberlain had 25, Wayne Smith 42. One was unlegible. So, Mr. Smith, would you step forward and take your oath of office? Madam Clerk, minister the oath.
I, Wayne Smith, do swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of this state, so long as I shall continue a citizen thereof, so help me God. I, Wayne Smith, do swear that I will faithfully discharge to the best of my ability the duties incumbent on me as a moderator, according to the Constitution and the laws of the state, so help me God.
My duties as distributor of the warrant is completed. Smith, you're on target.
Article 2, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for regular instruction. Last year, $1,516,502. School board recommends this year $1,391,473.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 2 as recommended. Is there any discussion? Yes.
I just wanna know, in the town report, there's not a breakdown of does New Sweden pay? Do they contribute? It doesn't, I don't see that on any place in the budget.
It's under the first page, it should say tuition. It's actually tuition received from New Sweden and the kids we have from the lake.
Okay, I didn't see that. All right, I appreciate that, thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of passing the motion as recommended, please raise your hands. Those opposed, the motion is passed.
Wait, can you count the vote, please?
Yes, everybody that is in favor of the motion, please raise your hands. 55 in favor. All those opposed, please raise your hand. I don't see any hands, so it's 55 to nothing. Article 3, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for special education. Last year, $330,215. School board recommends $387,430 this year.
So moved.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 3 as recommended. Is there any discussion?
Can we ask the people that are making the motions to let us know who they are? Yeah, their names.
Okay.
Gene Bradbury.
Peter Crane, second.
Is there any discussion? Yes.
It's my understanding that the reason that there is an increase for this amount is about the hiring of 2 ed techs and the fact that there was COVID money that was used to hire those 2 ed techs, correct? Right. So, is the school board prepared to recognize that COVID money did go away and that by increasing this to this, that you don't have those extra funds when you're asking taxpayers to pay for that additional positions, those 2 additional positions, correct?
I can answer that.
Great.
So, you are partially correct in that we are asking for an increase. You are absolutely correct in that there was a time where we could use COVID monies to pay certain salaries. Those monies have been expended. What's important, I think, to note is that our overall budget that we're presenting to the town for approval is flat. We're not asking for a tax increase.
Thank you for that explanation. And wouldn't it behoove us that if we could reduce the cost, we would do so?
enrollment we've had in the past 10 years. We're looking at close to 180 students for the fall. This has not been that way for many years. We can't do without the staff we have. We're down to bare minimum. We must keep what we have. And we also have students going to special purpose private schools. That's Presque Isle. So we always put a buffer there in case someone moves in and needs that service, so we wouldn't be stuck. So we don't always spend it, but we need it there as a safeguard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor of passing Article 4 as recommended, please raise your hands. Yes. Well, anxious here. Article 3. And those opposed? Motion is passed.
Are you gonna count each one of these? or
No, he doesn't have to.
There was 1 opposed and 55 or 60 in favor.
Okay.
Article 4, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for career and technical education. School board recommends 0.
Gene Bradbury.
Been moved, do I hear a second?
Ken St. Pierre, second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Article 4 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 5, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for other instruction. Last year, $50,050. School board recommends this year $51,350.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Second, Maria Chamberlain.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 5 as recommended. Is there any discussion? Ted?
Ken St. Pierre, what is other instruction? I just see it there. What is,
It's athletics and co-curricular.
Yes.
In the town report that we received, you're jumping this almost double?
No, the town report that you're looking at is a partial school year and a partial town year.
Okay,
So it's not apples and apples.
okay, thank you.
It's up about $1,000.
Okay.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? The motion is passed. Article 6, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for student and staff support. Last year, $175,965. This year, the school board recommends $211,950.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Ken St. Pierre, second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Article 6 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 7, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for system administration. Last year, $122,231. School board recommends this year $127,665.
Gene Bradbury again, so moved.
Ken St. Pierre, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 7 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 8, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for school administration. Last year, $145,607. This year, school board recommends $158,016.
Gene Bradbury, so moved. Larry Grant, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 8 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 9, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for transportation and buses. Last year, $124,589. This year, the school board recommends $124,325.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Lorraine Chamberlain, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 9 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? The motion is passed. Article 10, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for facilities maintenance. Last year, $272,066. This year, the school board recommends $425,228.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Larry Grant, second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Article 10 as recommended. Is there any discussion? Yes.
It's my understanding that this increase is primarily due to the evening janitor position due to and having COVID money from the past as well.
Yes,
If that's correct.
yes.
Okay. This is a pretty, steep increase.
Yeah.
And I understand the school benefits from having janitorial services, please hear that, and it's really good for the students for it to be clean. The question that I have is that can we afford to have an evening janitor being able to do this and for these costs?
We feel we can because we're not bringing the budget up at all and we've shifted monies around. We do need that service. When there are meetings or events for the students after school, we have someone in there and what he does is valuable for us, really is. And he helps, our other custodians because we're doing a lot of building, we've done new bathrooms. So instead of hiring people to do that type of work, we have this guy in there doing his share.
Thank you for your feedback about that. I will comment as a resident of Woodland that if the rationale is we are shifting monies around and keeping the budget the same as opposed to potentially having a lower budget, that doesn't always meet the needs of the community and the school. So I just want to make note of that to the school.
Gene?
For what it's worth, there are very few schools in the state of Maine that do not have an evening custodian. Activities have got to be done before we can do the job.
Thank you, Kate.
Is there any other discussion or comments?
It's not just salaries that have gone up, we're also doing some major capital repairs. We're redoing the girls' bathroom this summer, we did the boys' bathroom last summer. And the staff bathroom. And then the other one is ground services, you know, so we're very cognizant that we need to manage the town, the money that the town gives us. We think that this is our best foot forward for the town of schools.
Well, we're all giving all this money to the town. We own that school across the road. We need to be using that gym over there.
Yes.
We shouldn't be in this place. We own that place across the road, and we all gotta get together and use it.
Yeah, we used to meet in June and we keep it open till then, but right now if you walk through, the halls are full of stuff in the bathrooms and from the classrooms, everything is, it's in disarray. But I mean, if.
But we've never been able to use it though.
Oh,
One
yeah.
time all summer, one time for the last year.
We've always used it before, I used to work there, and we always had every meeting there.
You guys are gonna have to make it so we can use it, we own it. Okay?
So next year, if we're gonna be late, we'll make sure that the gym is clear.
Okay, thank you.
Ted St. Pierre, I posted the warrant, and I can tell you, going to, I don't even know why you posted the warrant in the school, because the public cannot go through the hallway. The gym is full of desks, they're working on the bathrooms. I did post the warrant on the bulletin board, but I don't know how you're gonna get in there to see. So, the gym and everything else is full. I do understand that we should be able to use the gym, but we are 5 months behind. Normally we're in March, and the school is open in March. So, this is something that they have the job to do. So, that's all I have to say to the people that open the school.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we should make more work for them just so we can have a nice place to sit.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion on Article 10? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 11, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for debt service and other commitments. Last year, $11,059. School board recommends this year $13,409.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Ken St. Pierre, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 11 as recommended. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 12, to see what sum the school administrative unit will be authorized to expend for all other expenditures. Last year, $0, recommended $0 this year.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Ken St. Pierre, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 12 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? The motion is passed. Article 13, to see what sum the municipality will appropriate for the total cost of funding public education from kindergarten to grade 12 as described in the Essential Programs and Service Funding Act. Last year, $1,921,469. This year, the school board recommends $1,929,620. And to see what sum the municipality will raise as the municipality's contribution to the total cost of funding public education from kindergarten to grade 12 as described in the Essential Programs and Services Funding Act in accordance with Maine Revised Statutes, Title 20A, Section 15688.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 13 as recommended. Is there any discussion?
I'd just like to have it noted that the sum is significantly smaller than their original plans.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to have it noted that it's a significant drop in extra funding requests. It's a big deal.
Last year, the expenditure was budget was $455,383. This year, the school board recommends $441,443. Any other discussion?
Name's Eric Grant. How much are you spending per child? I was 1.9 million. What does that break down to?
We figure about, I think it's right around $8,400,
$8,400 per child?
which is significantly less than the state average. Huge. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor of passing Article 13 as recommended? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 14, to see what sum the municipality or district unit will raise and appropriate for annual payments on debt service previously approved by the legislative body for non-state funded school construction projects. Non-state funded portions of school construction projects and minor capital projects, in addition to the funds appropriated as the local share of the school administrative unit's contribution to the total cost of funding public education from kindergarten to grade 12. School board recommends $0.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
David Holmes, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 14 as recommended by the school board. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 15. Shall the town of Woodland raise and appropriate $235,926 in additional local funds which exceeds the state's essential programs and services allocation model by $235,926 as required to fund the budget recommended by the school committee. The school committee recommends $235,926 for additional local funds and gives the following reasons for exceeding the state's essential programs and services funding model. Increase in staff wages, benefits, and insurances. All supplies costs have increased, fuel and electricity costs. Last year, $221,987. This year, the school board recommends $235,926.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
His name for your second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 15 as recommended by the school board. Is there any discussion? Yes.
I have a question. The second paragraph says that the school committee recommends $221,987. But that's last year's, the previous year's amount. So should that be corrected?
It's not what it says on the warrant. It says, the second paragraph on the warrant says the school committee recommends $235,900.
That's the old one.
Are there any other questions or discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 16, to see what sum the municipality district unit will authorize the school committee to expend for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025 from the school administrative unit's contribution to the total cost of funding public education from kindergarten to grade 12 as described in the Essential Program Services Funding Act. Non-state funded school construction projects, additional local funds for school purposes under that Maine Revised Statutes Title 20A, Section 156-9. Unexpended balances, tuition receipts, state subsidy and other receipts for the support of schools. Last year, $2,748,286. This year, the school board recommends $2,890,847.
Gene Bradbury, so moved. David Paul, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 16 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 17, shall the school board be authorized to transfer amounts exceeding 5% of the total appropriation for any cost center to another cost center or among other cost centers for 2024-2025 fiscal year, provided that transfers shall not be permitted to increase the authorized total school budget.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 17 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 18. To see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to appoint constables, surveyors of Woodland, and all other necessary town officers.
Mr. Moderator, we need to change the audience at the front.
Okay.
Everyone is down here. Thank you, school board. Thank you, school board. Article 18, to see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to appoint constables, surveyors of Woodland, and all other necessary town officers for the ensuing year. Been moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 18.
That's you.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Article 18 as written. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 19, to see if the town will vote to authorize the municipal officers to spend an amount not to exceed 1/3 of the budgeted amount in each of the budget categories of the 2024 annual budget during the period from February 1, 2025 to the 2025 annual town meeting.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 19 as written. Is there any discussion?
So historically, we voted to authorize 1/6 to plus to allow for the continuation of our government. And now we're being asked to vote for 1/3. Is there a specific reason for this change?
Yeah, our town meeting is usually in March, and now our town meeting is in June, July. So we need that more to cover over half of the year. We're beyond the 1/6, we need 1/3. That's why. Annually, next year, if we have our meeting in March, it'll be back to 1/6.
So what you're asking for is permission to spend money that we've already spent? Because that's what your answer is. This should be what we do going forward. What we do going forward should leave it at 1/6.
Yeah, well, for this year, we need it for, because we're in July. We've gone beyond.
So we've spent more money than what we were authorized?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Move it, Jamie.
Are there any other questions or concerns? Yes?
I'd like to know if we have spent more than 1/6 of our budget to date. Simple question.
Have we? Oh, we haven't.
Matt says we haven't.
We have not spent 1/6 of the projected year's budget 5 months into the year. Is that what you just said?
Yep.
Make sure the record reflects that.
I have a question.
Sure.
Then why would we need to change it to 1/3 if we haven't overexpended?
It's just a precautionary because it's not
You
our,
already said we're into July.
we are into July. We're over halfway through the year.
It hasn't been overspent.
What's that?
You shouldn't need to change it if it hasn't been overspent.
Well, it may be a little over.
Well,
We're
it
not
is-
saying it's 1/6.
Is it or is it?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to get back to you on that.
So, but we need to vote tonight.
We haven't had a financial report in over a year. So,
So
sorry.
maybe we should vote that down instead of.
Vote it, you guys have the, vote it down. You guys wanna vote it down?
Go ahead.
I'd like to move the previous question.
We've
Move
had a,
forward with the vote.
is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for the previous question. The previous question stops all debate on the primary motion. It requires a 2/3 vote, so please raise your hands. All those in favor of the previous question, raise your hand. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12. 37 in favor. Those opposed? 10, 11, 12, 13 opposed. That's a 2/3 majority, so there's no more discussion on this article. You can vote it down or pass it. Article 19. It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 19 to spend an amount not to exceed 1/3. All those in favor? We voted on a motion for the previous question. This is a motion for the article. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 26, 27, 28, 35, 36, 37, 38. 38 in favor. Those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 20, to see if the town will vote to give a 3% discount on 2024 taxes paid in full by October 31, 2024.
Thank you, I'll move it.
And that all taxes unpaid as of November 1, 2024 will be subject to a 4% interest rate. That interest on abated taxes will be given at 4%.
Again, that's it here. Move it. Make a motion to move.
Gene Bradley, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 20 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 21, to see if the town will, for the purpose of procuring a temporary loan or loans to and for the use of said town in conducting municipal year 2024 in anticipation of and to be paid out of the taxes of the current municipal year 2024, authorize and direct the town treasurer, subject to the approval of the selectmen, to borrow from time to time during said municipal year a sum of money to make, execute, and deliver the negotiable note or notes of the town, therefore payable with said current municipal year, and upon such terms as shall be satisfactory to said treasurer and selectmen, and debt or debts incurred hereunder to be paid out of money raised by taxation during the present municipal year.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 21 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 22, to see if the town will direct the tax collector treasurer to accept prepayment of real estate and personal property taxes not yet committed pursuant to 36 MRSA, Section 506, and to pay no interest on said prepayments.
So moved.
That's it here, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 22 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 23, to see if the town will vote to transfer all state revenue sharing funds to be received in the ensuing year to offset the tax commitment.
Ray Chamberlain, move.
David Horn, second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Article 23 as read. Is there any discussion? Peter?
Mr. Chairman, are we sure of that amount of state revenue sharing? Have we called the state to see if that's what we're gonna get?
Yep, we have, yeah,
It's way over what it was last year.
yeah, it was, it's almost double.
Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 24, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen on behalf of the town to sell and dispose of any real estate acquired by the town for non-payment of taxes thereon and on such terms as they deem advisable to execute quitclaim deeds for such property, except that the municipal officers shall use the special sale process required by 36 MRS 943-C for qualifying homestead property, if they choose to sell it to anyone other than the former owners.
So moved. Ray Chamberlain.
David Hall, second.
Been moved and seconded that we accept Article 24 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 25, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to dispose of any town-owned, used, or surplus equipment on such items as they deem advisable.
That's it here, I'll move it.
David Hall, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 25 as read. Is there any discussion? Yes.
Will this go up for bid?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to go to bid.
Thanks, Ted.
Oh, you're fucking me.
I'm looking at the chair.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Well, Madam Chair. There's nothing to do with bid.
Is there any other discussion or questions? All those in favor? And those opposed? The article is passed. Article 26, to see if the town will vote to authorize the municipal officers to accept any grant funds which may be offered after application for same through the Community Development Block Grant Program, Department of Economic and Community Development, HUD, USDA, Rural Development, or any other state or federal programs, if town applicants are approved, and authorize the municipal officers to accept said grant funds, to make such assurances and assume such responsibilities, and exercise such authority as are necessary and reasonable to implement such programs.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 26 as written. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 27, to see if the town will authorize any sum legally allowable that is refunded to the town by the state for snowmobile registrations to be used for establishing and maintaining snowmobile trails in said town of Woodland.
So moved.
Yes, I hear a second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 27 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 28, to see if the town will vote to transfer $50,220 from Maine Department of Transportation Local Road Assistance Program to offset capital improvements of roads in the town of Woodland.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 28 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 29, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $211,500 general government. Last year, $193,000. This year, the selectmen recommend $211,500.
So moved.
Second, David Hall.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 29 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Hold on, I have discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In this article, it's got the animal control officer for $1,600. So if this article gets voted in, it will null and void Article 51, which is to allow us to vote on $1,600 for the animal control officer.
Okay.
So we just can't, if we add it here,
We'll skip item 51.
skip item 51.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is carried. Article 30, to see if the town will vote and appropriate $692,600 for Public Works Highway Department. Last year, $754,450. This year, the selectmen recommended $692,600.
So moved. Marie Jacob.
Second, David Hall.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 30 as recommended. Is there any discussion? David?
Where did we cut?
We transferred some over to the truck line, and the rest of it, when we sat down with Paul, our road foreman, that's what he came up with for his highway budget.
Okay, I'm just waiting to quit following line of the road.
Peter?
Mr. Chairman, there's a reduction in gas and diesel, and I hope we're right on that one, but.
Yep, we are.
I'll be certain of that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, double checked that twice, I think. Yep, we locked the fuel in, actually.
Okay, good. With the roads being the biggest topic in the town, and our carryover, our tax commitment is $342,000 less than last year. Instead of lowering taxes, why don't we put more money in the road business?
We may do that. We'll bring that to the town for a vote when we decide on what we're gonna do for projects here.
Why didn't we do it now?
Because we haven't had, the budget hasn't been approved yet. to see what we're gonna have for money to work with. You guys can vote this down and we're gonna be
Well,
unsure.
I think we need more money for the roads. I mean, the flat line on the roads is not gonna do anything for our roads.
Oh, well, we highly understand that, oh, yeah.
There's more roads in town that are done.
Oh, we know.
And we were just wondering when that was gonna be fixed.
Mr. Butler?
So I attended the budget meeting when the road commissioner was there. I believe he asked for $270,000. That was the number that he gave that meeting. And then I attended the next budget meeting, the commissioner was not there. Because he told me his part was done, and that's where it got dropped to 200,000. So,
Yeah,
why?
it was the wage line, $19,000.
I believe
That's
the
what we
road
draw.
was 270.
Yep. How was it? We'll go ahead. So we had an increase in wages and we moved some over to the truck line, which we're gonna discuss in one of the future articles here.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
What I'm saying is, our road commissioner said he needed 270,000 for road maintenance. And that was the number that was discussed at that meeting. At the next meeting, where he was told he would not need to be in attendance, that's when it was cut to 200,000. So, why did we cut road maintenance by 70,000? That's not salary.
truck.
So the question is, for those who might not have heard, is why was the budget cut 70,000 from what was recommended by the road commission?
Yeah, there was 19 on the wages and 50,000 on the truck.
No. We hadn't discussed the truck at that point. It was at that meeting, that's when we told you the Red International.
Yeah, it was done, yeah.
So there was no figures for that.
There was a figure, $20,000.
Yeah.
Fix the road international.
Yeah, there was 30 grand, was the start on the bill for the red truck repair. And we said that we discussed that, we decided it's not worth the value to put that much money in that old red truck.
But I'm talking road maintenance, not trucks, not truck maintenance, not purchases. 200,000
Yeah,
that you allocated is 70,000 and what he asked for. I just wondered why.
so like I said, we pulled some money out, we transferred it to the truck line, which was $50,000. And then it was 20,000 for wages. So we reduced that line, 70,000, 50 plus 20 is 62,000, what it actually was.
Yes. Been moved and seconded for the previous question. All those in favor? Two in favor, those opposed? Opposed. 32 and 15, at total 47, 47, it is a 2/3 majority, so that motion is passed. We'll now vote on Article 29 to see if the town will vote to raise $211,000 for general government. Article 30, I'm sorry, yeah, we're on Article 30. To see if the town will vote to spend $692,600. All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 31, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $97,500 for insurances, retirement, and payroll liabilities. The $97,500 is $9,000 for Social Security Medicare, $80,000 for medical insurance, $500 for retirement, $500 for unemployment insurance, and $7,500 for workers' compensation. Last year, the total was $99,169. This year, selectmen recommend $97,500.
So moved.
I'll second it, Ed, take your.
It's been moved and seconded that Article 31 be accepted as read. All those in favor? And those opposed?
Discussion.
I'm sorry?
Discussion.
Oh, yeah. Is there any discussion? Yes.
I have a question from former Selectman Will Barnum, who couldn't be here tonight. There are several accounting issues that I see with the line items in this article. Last year's contribution of $6 for employee retirement does not make sense, nor does the $41 spent on unemployment insurance, both shown in the expense and revenue summary report. Is this actually all that was spent on these items? How were you able to arrive at your proposed reduction in those items? I believe you sent this to the board a couple of days ago.
Kathy will explain that for
Well,
you.
we didn't have any efficient accounting in the treasurer's position for any of this, so we had to go back. By the time the book and stuff had been printed, we had to go back and we had to reconstruct it. So we were down an employee for a while that we didn't have to pay in, so we worked with the numbers and we got as close as we could to the 99,169, and we were comfortable with the 97,500.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 32, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $68,000 to be used for solid waste disposal, health and sanitation.
So moved.
Last year, $68,000, this year, $68,000 recommended.
Sorry.
That's fine.
We have a motion on the floor, I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 32 as recommended. Is there any discussion?
You're doing a good job, Wayne.
Just trying to hurry along, I guess. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 33, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $152,125 for ambulance and fire services. Last year, $152,125. This year, selectmen recommend $152,125.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 33 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 34, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $2,313 for Central Rustic Humane Society. Last year, $2,313. This year, selectmen recommend $2,313.
Jim Bradbury, so moved.
Ed, take your.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 34 as recommended. Is there any discussion?
Chair, can you explain why this amount is the way it is in comparison to other social services that we're paying our bill on?
Yeah,
Is this a
go
donation?
ahead.
No, it's what we take in, they charge you by what your animal control takes in for animals.
Okay, so this is based on our
Kind of,
volume
yeah.
as a town and the experience with the shelter.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, I need clarification.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 35, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $2,134 for Northern Maine Development Commission for 2023 membership dues. $2,134 is the same as last year.
So moved.
I'll second it, Ed, take your.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 35 as recommended. Is there any discussion?
Chair, I'm going to seek to understand what they're offering us for the $2,134.
I think it's for them to let us seek their services for grants and different things in the community that.
I think you might wanna check in about that, because I think we're supposed to be, as a town, attending some of their meetings. And that we need a representative there.
Yeah.
And that's the participatory kind of process
Yeah.
in working with them for them to guide us in the way that I think we're looking to see them guide us.
Okay.
So I think if we are gonna continue our membership the way this is outlined, which I don't oppose, it's just, I think we need to participate more.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. I'm just curious, would our youth, like the steering committee using their facility,
We
would
are,
that fall under any of that?
no,
No?
it's not under that,
Okay.
but I'm aware of it. Louis, is that?
No?
Well, we're using that facility because we are community.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Louis.
So it does reflect them?
Is there any other discussion? Yes, then,
Let's read 2024, not 2023, membership, or are we behind here?
Should be 2024.
Just curious, it would be 2024, correct?
2024.
Yeah.
Okay.
should be 2024.
I support an amendment to this article to modify that date. Do we need an amendment?
You need to have a motion for amendment.
I'd like to make a motion for an amendment to modify the date of the membership so that it's effective for 2024.
Jim Brown, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we amend this article to change the date to 2024. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? The amendment is passed. So the article now reads, see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $2,134 to Northern Development Commission for 2024 membership dues. We've already had a motion and a second to accept that. Is there any more discussion on that motion? All those in favor? Those opposed? The motion is passed. Article 36,
Hey Wayne,
yes.
Article 36 can be abandoned because we don't have to vote on the money we have to pay to the county.
I checked with MMA on that article,
Yes.
for the amount for the article, and she said it should be in there.
Okay, the MMA recommends Article 36 not be on this warrant, so we're gonna skip it. Article 37, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $5,670 for social services for the following services offered to the town. ACAP, American Red Cross, Aroostook Area Agency on Aging, Caribou Emergency Management, Catholic Charities of Maine, Central Aroostook Soil and Water, Healthy Families of Aroostook, Maine Veteran Cemetery, Sister Mary O'Donnell Shelter, Woodland Cemetery Association, Woodland Historical Society, Woodland Ski Trail. Last year's total was $4,985. This year, selectmen recommend $5,670.
So moved.
Jim Bradbury, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 37 as recommended. So any discussion?
I do have a discussion point, and it's on the ACAP piece. Last year, we made an amendment, as you recall, Wayne,
Yes.
to adjust that request to $485 that they requested for the first time last year to remain at $200, which was the 2022 amount. That amendment was approved, but never implemented as part of the town budget. I am requesting again that this be amended to support the $200 amount and not the $485 amount for ACAP specifically. I'm making a motion that the ACAP, only the ACAP one, revert to the 2022 amount of $200 and not this current amount of $485.
Do I hear a second on the amendment?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we amend Article 37 to change the amount of money for Aroostook County Action Program from $485 to $200. Is there any discussion? Peter?
Before we vote on this amendment, do people in this room realize how much heating assistance, the elderly in this town get from ACAP. And we wanna cut that by $200.
Is that what that's directly going to?
Well, they get the money from ACAP already, for the heating assistance.
They also do a huge fundraiser and they get federal money, that is pretty extensive for heating.
Any other discussion? Yes.
Can we get some insight from the, board as to what this $485 or $200 would, be used for the town of Woodland?
They send us a brochure with that contribution on that.
It's a donation.
It's a donation.
Yes.
Is there a reason why we wouldn't want to give them $485?
Why would we increase it and not increase everything else? Why is ACAP asking for such an expensive amount? That's over 100% increase in 1 year, and there's no clarity on what we get. And ACAP is a federally and state funded agency that gets extensive monies from the state and federal government. We are a very small community, and that, a lack of explanation for that increase is pretty huge.
Yes.
Agencies like ACAP that get state and federal funding, specifically federal funding, rely upon local match and local contribution and a show of local support for a program like that. We're talking about $285 for, as Mr. Kern said, an extremely valuable program. And I assume that the amount they recommend is based on what they need and comparison to other towns. So I would hope that we would approve the amount that they requested.
Gene?
Bradbury, ACAP does a whole lot more than just heating assistance. A whole lot more. And I think that's a heck of a deal personally.
Ted St. Pierre, my question is that there was a motion last year on the floor to amend this. So we need a motion on the floor to bring it back to $485. Versus.
We have, this is what the article is.
That's what the article is saying now. So
Yes.
we're gonna delete the $200 we voted on last year. And
We never fixed our amendment.
so we need to amend that $200 we said last year.
You even stopped in my house and talked to me about it. And it never got straightened out.
I do make a motion that we change the ACAP funding.
We already have a motion on the floor, and we have an amendment moved.
We got an amendment.
Yes.
But we need to put the amendment to vote to take it off the board.
We'll vote on the amendment in just a minute.
All right.
What about last year? The question was about last year.
Yeah.
Did we spend the $485 last year? Or was it $200 that was amended? Okay. In the meantime, we have an amendment to change the $485 to $200. It's been moved and seconded that this amendment. So we'll vote on the amendment now. Do we want to leave it at $485 or do we want to amend it to $200? All those in favor of passing the amendment to change it to $200, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And those opposed? The motion is defeated. So the main motion was already made on Article 37 to accept this $5,670 as recommended. Is there any discussion on that motion? Yes.
I just would like some explanation of the increase that happened in 2023, 2022, 23 for the shelter. Do we have residents using the shelter and that's why it went up, or is there another reason?
That's how many people from this area go to the
Okay.
shelter.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor of passing Article 37 as recommended? And those opposed? Motion is passed. They're looking for an answer for your question here about the
It's on
last
page,
year's.
it's on page 36, so page 45.
Yeah, it was $485. They didn't take the recommendation of 200.
Oh, it was passed.
It was passed, but they,
But they still pay for
45.
Yeah, see, that's,
Now with the town approved.
That's right. Yep.
Article 38, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $1,000 for general assistance for the ensuing year. Last year was $1,500. This year, selectmen recommend $1,000.
Arrange regularly, so
Can you have me a second?
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 38 as recommended. Is there any discussion? Yes.
That's a reduction of 500. I know we had staffing problems with the office, and so is that number reduced because the office wasn't available to people?
No,
We're up to 2 people again.
no, there wasn't a request for more than that. It was only, it was
But
under
I mean, how do
$1,000.
we know if the office is closed? Or not
I don't know.
functioning?
All we can tell you is what people had come in and asked for general assistance, and it wasn't more than $1,000 for the year.
But you would agree with me that the office was not fully staffed and that it was closed more than normal? What is the impact of reducing it?
Yeah, go ahead.
The question was, what is the impact of reducing that?
My understanding when I came on here a year ago was that the information with general assistance, it wasn't being utilized even before we got there. So I don't think this is unreasonable. It was not utilized, not because it wasn't staffed properly.
Point of order? Has Bridget been given permission to speak?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I recognize you, yes. Selectmen. Is there any other questions? Yes?
How are general assistance, requests handled?
Project.
It's all private.
On general assistance, if I can answer that, that's very private.
Oh, I understand that, but
Yeah.
is it, do you make appointments for people who request it?
Yes.
Okay. Do all requests get answered?
So in a year where inflation is on record high and people are struggling and relative business between the wealthiest and the poorest is a great deal, it gives the possibility that someone might need a little more money going forward. Why would we reduce something that is dedicated to the poorest among us?
Gene?
Bradbury, I'd like to move the previous question.
I'd like to have an answer.
I'll second that.
He did ask his question before your motion. Tom wanted to know why it was reduced.
Like we said before, the amount of the request was less than $1,000 for last year. So we decided to drop that amount. That's all. It has nothing to do with,
Proud of that.
if there's a need for more, we'll come back to the town and request some more money for general assistance.
All right, you still want to make your motion?
Yeah, I would still like to move the previous question.
I have a motion for the previous question. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, the previous question. All those in favor? In favor. And those opposed? All opposed. Motion is passed. So we'll now vote on Article 38. We had a, been moved that the article be accepted as recommended for $1,000. Is there any other discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, we've had a motion for the previous question. All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 39, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $20,000 for discounts and abatements for the ensuing year. Last year, 20,000. Selectmen recommend 20,000.
So moved.
Gene Bradbury, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 39 as recommended. Is there any discussion? Yes.
I have a question from former Selectman William Martin, couldn't be here, and I believe this question has been posed to the board prior to today. What is the value of rebates that were issued last year?
There were no rebates the last year. We had some abatements. Abatements, not rebates.
Did you hear the answer?
Actually, I did not, I'm sorry.
There were no rebates, issued last year.
Thank you.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 40, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $1,000 to be added to office equipment reserve. Selectmen recommend $1,000.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 40 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 41, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $60,000 to be added to the highway equipment reserve.
Gene,
Selectmen recommend $60,000.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 41 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 42, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $10,000 to be added to the building repair reserve. Selectmen recommend $10,000.
Gene Bradbury, so moved.
Ted St. Pierre, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 42 as recommended for $10,000. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 43, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $5,000 to be added to the assessment reserve account. Selectmen recommend $5,000.
So moved.
Second, David Hall.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 43 as recommended for $5,000. All those, is there any discussion? Peter?
Mr. Chairman, if we do a reval approximately every 10 years,
Yeah.
why are we putting 10,000 on that line for the phone?
This is what Brandon had recommended us to do. He's our tax assessor.
So he'll do a reval for 50 grand in 10 years?
No, didn't say that. That's what he recommended for that line. It could be 20, we could do a set reval in 20 years. It might not be 10 years, we don't know. That future is unknown.
I thought it had to be every 10 years.
It's probably recommended 10 years, but no, it's not set in stone.
As a point of interest, there is no timeline on it. It has to do with how close your town's evaluation is to current prices.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 44. See if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $25,000 to be added to the planning board reserve account. Selectmen recommend $25,000.
Ray Chamber moves.
Ted St. Pierre, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 44 as recommended for $25,000. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 45, to see if the town will vote to transfer the unexpended balance, if any, to the road maintenance reserve account. Selectmen recommend yes.
So moved, Ray Taylor.
Dean Bradbury, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 45 as recommended. Is there any discussion? Yes.
I just had a quick question on the unexpended balance. Is that required to, is that referring to the whole budget of the town or just like road?
It's for all.
It's all, the whole
Yeah.
budget, so if there's an unexpended amount of like $100,000 that goes right there.
Yeah.
If it's $1 million, it goes right there.
Yeah.
Would it be advisable to kind of have some money set aside and not do that, maybe put a cap on it? Would that be? I don't know, I was reading it and I wasn't sure, I was like, is it coming from?
Well, I think with the road conditions that they are in the town, we could probably use as much money as we could get in that account, honestly.
Okay, I was just curious.
We're pretty sure it won't be over $1 million anyway.
No. Yeah.
Is there any other discussion on Article 45? All those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 46, to see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to transfer $30,000 from undesignated funds account and/or retained earnings for anticipated purchases or repair of equipment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 46 as recommended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? The motion is passed. Article 47, to see if the town will vote to authorize the selectmen to transfer, if needed, up to $10,000 from the undesignated funds account, the surplus account, and/or retained earnings to cover an overdraft in a budgeted account.
So moved.
Second, David Hall.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 47 as read. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? And those opposed? The motion is passed. Article 48, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate $20,000 to be added to an equity replacement reserve. Selectmen recommend $20,000.
So moved.
Second, David Hall.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 48 as recommended. Is there any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
David Hall. A reserve, equity replacement reserve, what are we referring to?
Great.
That's when we purchased the grader there in 2021.
It's for equipment or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it's specifically for the grade.
Is there any other discussion?
Last year we voted to approve the same amount, but I don't think it was ever added,
Wasn't, no.
so I didn't handle that, so just, that's it.
We move on, I guess. It was never added to the budget, or never, it was never taken out. The treasurer never took it out, sorry.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 49, to see if the town will vote to approve and purchase the purchase of plow trucks for the Public Works Department to be paid monthly over a period of 60 months for a price not to exceed $250,000. Payment to be made from Highway Equipment Reserve.
Dean Bradbury, so moved. David Hall, second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Article 49 as read. Is there any discussion?
Are we $250,000 for one truck or multiple trucks?
It could be one, or it could be one brand new one, or two used ones.
Any other questions? If not, all those in favor? And those opposed? Motion is passed. Article 50, to see if the town will vote to approve an ordinance for a sovereign market in the town of Woodland. This ordinance is intended to provide the residents unimpeded access to local food and to reduce government regulation on local foods to the extent permitted by Home Authority under 30-A MRSA 2001, the Constitution of Maine, Article 8, Part 2nd, and pursuant to 7 MRS. Been moved. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept Article 50 as read. Is there any discussion?
I do not know what that means at all. Could you tell me what that means?
Article 50.
We had a lady come in here and bring to our attention about people who have a home garden, and they wanna set up a food stand on the outside of their driveway and sell garden goods or baked goods.
Is she here?
I haven't seen her tonight, no, but. Yeah. It could be like a farmer's market, they can set up in the schoolyard and sell stuff.
Doesn't it have something to do with like being able to sell raw milk or something?
Eggs.
Eggs, yep, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
We do have a state statute about family farms and gardens selling produce outside of their house, but the vehicle has to be off the road. I don't understand why we're looking at this. That's my question. There's already a statute there that says you can do that.
Yes, Vivek?
So they started, maybe something on it, they started something like this in Stockholm, and they have to sign a waiver that it basically, the people selling are not at liability for anything, because when you start selling more than produce, then you're looking at like licensing for food safety and that sort of thing. So is that something that would need to be signed in order for people to purchase, or is this just somebody wanting to sell their produce outside of their?
Rules government, it's about whether or not the food has been inspected by USDA. You can now, with this in place, with local ordinance, you can sell meat, cheese, milk, things that are not inspected through the federal government or the state government on the property, person to person. That's what this allows you to do.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is not a budget-related item, and I'm a little concerned by this kind of pass an ordinance with the food sovereignty, constitutional amendment. It shifts responsibility for those things onto the town. What does that mean? There are several versions of ordinances going around the state that various communities have passed or are looking at, the MMA might recognize. I just don't think this is the forum for deciding what this ordinance should be. And I would suggest that we pass this and have some sort of a special town meeting with more in-depth look of what does it mean, what are the liabilities and responsibilities of the town. It's clear to me that people don't really understand what this is, and the ordinances are long. It's not a half of a paragraph. They're long ordinances, and I would suggest that we not deal with this and perhaps set up some sort of committee to look at what would be an appropriate ordinance that would be best for the town.
I would agree with her 100%. This opens a lot of doors other than uninspected food. And they've only managed to run it into a few towns in the entire state.
Again, when we're talking about an ordinance, any ordinance needs to be going through the planning board, not through a town meeting vote. I have to agree with Sarah on this. This is an ordinance about this. So I would say it's not a town article, it's an ordinance, and it needs to go to the planning board.
Is there any other discussion? If not, we'll proceed to vote on Article 50. All those in favor of passing Article 50, please raise your hand. Those opposed? Motion is defeated. Article 50 does not pass. Article 51. Oh, yes. Thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you, Wayne. We're doing a motion to adjourn.
adjourn. All those in favor?